Sweet. What's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to the 52nd episode of Ricardo Sturdivant's Tuesday Feelings live on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. So we're streaming out live from all over the country. So if you're watching, we'd love if you could drop a comment in the chat letting us know where you're watching from. Throughout the show, we'll keep an eye on the comments and try to communicate with you guys pretty often. Beyond these live shows, you guys can watch all of the Reinventing Network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, and webinars on our YouTube channel and website, as well as our Roku channel. If you haven't checked us out on Roku yet, you can find it by searching for Reinventing the Tattoo on your Roku device, where we have 24/7 streaming content. This is the type of stuff that would be really nice to put on in the background for yourself and your clients while you're tattooing. We also have several weekly drawing groups that are happening almost literally every day. So if you're watching, you're welcome to tune in or join the Zoom call with us. The link to the Zoom is actually very easy to find. I can go over showtimes soon, but if you go to reinventingthetattoo.com and scroll down to the calendar, the Zoom links are always right there. If you're here to watch, our YouTube channel is set up for reminders about these upcoming events too. So every Sunday at 1 p.m. is Skill Building Sundays, led by Jason Leeser. Monday mornings start early at 9 a.m. with Drawing for Tattooers, led by James Wisdom. Right after that at 11, you can join myself, Gabe Ripley of Tattoo Now, and Jake Meeks of Fireside Tattoo to talk about what's going on in the world of tattooing with frequent special guests. Later on Monday night at 6 is Robbie Rapol's Let's Talk About Feelings, and Monday evenings at 9 is a Reinventing Evolution class led by Guy Aitchison. Right now they're in the second trimester. If you want to follow the link in the description for more information about those various learning opportunities Guy offers, that would be awesome. Tuesdays right here at 10 a.m. is our Tuesday Feelings. Wednesdays at noon is the Tattoo Now show, followed by our business course happening every other Wednesday. As you guys know, Thursday nights at 6 is Tattoo Collecting 101, streamed live from Red Tree Gallery. And some of the real world events that we are actually super excited for coming up soon at the end of July is Rubber City Tattoo Invitational by Tony Urbanic. Also, Derb Morrison's Hell City in Phoenix is at the end of August. Also, before we kick off, as always, thank you to our sponsors for helping us kick this content to you guys out for free. As always, World Tattoo Events with the most comprehensive resource for tattoo and events in the world at worldtattooevents.com. Also, Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source with acrylic-free inks. If you guys want to get 10% off of your Raw order, you can go and enter the code Reinventing the Tattoo for 10% off at rawpigments.co. Also, thanks to Tattoo Now for providing technology and organization for tattooers for decades, and Jake at Fireside Tattoo, The Apprenticeship Diaries by Amy, and eco-friendly tattoo-supplies.com. Also, of course, I love to say thank you to Guy Aitchison, the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing. You can find his Biomech Encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, and more at his website. Now, it is time to bring in Ricardo, Jason, and Medusa. I'm excited to see you guys. Let the show go. What's up, everybody?
Good morning.
Top of the morning.
Me hungry.
Strawberries.
Strawberries.
Face is all red like a strawberry.
Medusa, you nailed that red Cardo.
Here we go again.
I'm calming down on it. I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Okay.
It's already starting. Good morning. How's
Imagine
everybody
if you were
doing today?
sitting right where I am, Ricardo, and it'd be like,
I would match that color right behind you, that's for sure. Yeah.
Like there will be a Raw Pigment coming out soon.
Oh man.
Named.
I'm down.
Oh man, dude, that's gonna be hilarious. Can we have a little, like, tiny little picture of my face down there in the corner? It's like that's.
I know somebody. I think I could.
How's everybody doing
I
today?
actually have the perfect picture for you to use.
No, not that one.
That one.
That one.
Which one?
There was one where I was making some funny face. I was or something.
Yeah, I think you were wasted at like 2 a.m. and you were moving out of a place and moving into a different place. And you were on the carpet of a room and you were just like,
Yeah. I was going crazy, man. Like I ended up moving that whole place by myself. It was wild, dude. I had a bunch of stuff. I met some dude that runs like a secondhand store, you know what I mean? And I just came in and I told him, I was like, look, dude, you can take all this stuff. Just give me the X amount of dollars. And he's like, why are you selling this to me for so cheap? I was like, because I don't want it anymore. It's just a bunch of stuff that I don't need. I was like, take it. Like, you're doing me a favor. You're moving me out. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a wild time. I was like on the floor for like 3 days, I think, waiting for my new apartment. It was awesome. But yeah. Well, how's everybody doing today? Everybody enjoying the day so far?
Morning's all right.
Yeah.
I guess we're all morning people.
It seems that way so far.
Yeah.
I definitely am not, but only for you, Ricardo.
All right. What are you gonna do, man? That's awesome.
Gotta say good morning to James. Thank you for watching. James's show is pretty sweet. I watch it all the time. Usually not live though, because Mondays at that time we're getting ready for the Tattoo Weekly. But if you guys haven't checked it out, James, you're killing it, man.
Is it the Monday morning one?
Yeah, it'd be pretty early for you. It's 9 a.m. Eastern, but obviously the replays and stuff are up.
Yeah, I've been meaning to wake up early enough to do it, but it just hasn't happened yet. One day.
Yeah, James, it'd be cool if you can jump on one of these Tuesdays just to talk one of these days. Hear how you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, man, we'd love to have you.
Or even a Sunday.
Even a
on
Sunday.
Sundays.
Yeah.
Yep. Is anybody working on anything fun?
All sorts of stuff.
You've been working on a lot of inks, a lot of the stuff with the raw pigments lately, right?
Yep.
I think we were talking a little bit about that before the show started. What is it that you're working on? You're working on some more color swatches or something like that?
We're going to drop our EU approved line. So it'd be like a REACH compliant line as of July 29th. So everything's good to go. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it.
That's awesome. Radical.
Oh, yeah, because they changed a bunch of the pigment laws over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember somebody saying that they were worried that like everybody in Europe is going to be stuck with black and gray only. But I felt like that was
Won't ever happen.
drastic worry.
Yep, that's not going to happen.
Mm-mm. Well, especially since Raw's been like ahead of the game for a little while already, right? Like you guys have been compliant with a lot of that stuff before it was even being required.
Yeah, the legislation, I guess, is like a huge curveball. It's funny when things happen and you're like, oh, we just got to roll with it, rather than like, you can't, everybody wants to point fingers in this European situation. Everybody wants to say, well, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? And there's a really, really good video that my friend Chris Harrison put out. And it was actually the weirdest thing, because everybody's kind of like pointing towards like a corporate monster or like a government entity controlling these laws and regulations and stuff like that. But yeah, he has a video out with Paul Talbot, and it talks about like, is it good or is it bad with like the corporate takeover?
Right.
Maybe I can drop a link in the description. It's super good. It's only 30 minutes. And they kind of are like talking about, well, if it was a corporation, well, don't you think that these tests and these things would have happened years ago?
Yeah.
But then Paul kind of chimes in. He's like, look at the music industry. If you think about like private labels, really, he said there's only 6 labels that you can sign on with. Everything else is kind of acquired. And with acquisition, it kind of becomes like more singular,
Right.
more about money, more about bottom line.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, corporation takes over. I think there's something about our industry being like a subculture kind of thing to begin with. You know what I mean? And there's like this whole fundamental like roots thing with it, with like punk rock and like, the whole like, F the system kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a whole lot of generalizing whenever it comes to things like that. But there's a little bit more involved, like you're saying. You know what I mean? And it's good that you guys are looking at it from that stance. So that's awesome, because it's never just super like simple. There's a whole lot of little facets to it, but there are like those companies that acquire like other companies, and then they're gonna keep it. What is it? It's like in The Simpsons, there's this episode I remember where Homer goes to the Duff beer plant. You know what I mean? And he's like, ooh, look, Duff Light, Duff Regular, and Duff Dark, and it's all coming out of the same pipe. You know what I mean? It's just like
Don't they
it's the
have
same
a
thing.
Futurama episode about Slurm that's similar to that? Oh wait,
Yeah,
no,
but
that's when they find out where Slurm comes from.
yeah, exactly. And they're like, and he just keeps drinking it.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's just
oh
like,
no.
oh, that's just disgusting.
Yeah. Whammy wham wham wazzle. I love that show, man. So good. Hey, Kyle Olson, good morning. How are you? He's chiming in the chats and the YouTubes. Did you guys see that light just come on? What's up, Terrence? How you doing, buddy? My buddy Terrence just showed up. He's here early doing the Tuesday morning class, dude.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You want to come say hello? All right, let me get this set up so you guys can meet Terrence. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Hang on, we'll be right back.
So Medusa, what have you been working on?
I was going to work on my thumbnails from last night's class, but I can't find them. I had to jet from class early last night because my dog puked up a bunch of grass on my bed in the middle of the class. And it was like one of those situations where I was like, I need to clean this like right now. So I was just like typing in, gotta go, bye. But I can't find the thumbnails, so I'm just going to be working on this flash design with let me see this. Let me try to adjust my brightness because
You got this.
yeah, I've learned this lesson before. There we go.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
That's really nice.
It was the cloud background design is really heavily influenced by this artist who is amazing in New York. Let me look up their Instagram because I can't remember their first name. I remember their last name, Isley or something. A client of mine made me tattoo right underneath their tattoo, and it was terrible.
It's kind of intimidating when you do that too.
It's so scary.
Right?
I was like, why are you even here? Like, go back to New York to that other artist. I can't follow that. But I saw their design and
Parents.
wanted to do a pretty cloud background as well.
That looks really cool, Medusa.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Medusa, if you find it, you can drop it in the chat and I can screen share if you want.
Okay, yeah, I found it. Yeah, I'll do that.
So, everybody in the Tuesday Feelings room, this is my buddy Terrence.
Hi.
Hey, Terrence.
Everybody say hello to Terrence. Terrence is a fellow tattoo artist, killer artist. He loves doing, well, how would you describe your style, man?
I don't know. I mean, it's like early American traditional, but with non-traditional imagery.
Yeah. I dig it, dude. He's tattooed me already on my leg. It's killer. I love it.
Thanks, man.
I can't show it right now. But yeah. How long you been tattooing, Terrence?
3.5 years.
Yeah. What got you into it?
I don't know. I got my first tattoo in 2007 by Tim Beck. I just got super into the culture and the history of it, and started working for him in 2012 as a counter guy. I had a long, arduous process getting into an apprenticeship with Turbo.
Yeah.
And yeah, I apprenticed for 3 years roughly,
Yeah.
and then started doing so.
Yeah, Tim Beck's a pretty amazing artist too. Yeah, he's like
crazy.
that dude is versatile. You know, he does a lot of traditional stuff, man, but he can knock out a portrait like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he
stuff.
came up in the new school stuff, so like,
Yeah.
he can do anything.
Yeah,
Pretty
did you
cool.
take away a lot of stuff from being around him?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, like definitely just like how the industries ran, and like all the I got to meet a lot of cool people from it, and painting, how to paint and stuff. I just watch him paint. He paints all day long.
Yeah, he
Never
paints.
stops.
He paints nonstop. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's got an Eagle book that's out. I think he's got a couple books out now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got I think 3 volumes. The Eagle book's always on Kingpin. You can buy.
Yeah,
It's on a bunch of other
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
Belzell
Yeah, for sure.
carries it too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the Eagle king for sure.
So now, Earlier, before we jumped on the show, Medusa was talking about doing some seminars and like going around and talking to other artists and stuff like that. You travel quite a bit, even now. You still drive up to Chicago quite a bit.
Every Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I work at Brown Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually on my way to go work at Masterwork for a week.
Okay. Where's Masterwork at?
Indianapolis.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that's Donnie's.
Yeah,
that Donnie's
Donnie.
place?
Yeah, Donnie and Jacob own the spot.
Donnie Kinsey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Man.
Kizzy, but
Kizzy. Yeah.
yeah, it should be cool. And I think I'm doing Michigan in August.
Okay.
Depot Town Tattoo.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
man.
cool. Yeah, it's cool. Doing those conventions can be a lot of cool people you get to meet and go work at their shops.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man.
Nice.
So what do you take away from traveling and being around all those other artists and stuff?
I mean, I don't know. You're always growing and learning from other people and how they do things and how you do things, and you can tweak it and take and whatever. It's all borrowed, right? So, but that and it's just like I don't know, engaging with the culture of tattooing more. So
Yeah.
Just being a part of it, like a really cool thing that not everybody gets to be a part of.
Yeah. I hear you talk about that a lot. I've heard you mention the culture of tattooing. Like, you as a tattoo artist and with clientele, you get asked the same question quite a bit, right? And one of them is like, how'd you get into tattooing and stuff like that? What inspired you? All that stuff like that. But I hear you talk a lot, and I haven't heard a lot of other artists talk about the culture of tattooing.
Yeah.
That seems like that's super important to you. Like when you say the culture, do you mean just the process of tattooing or like the history behind it? Or like
I mean, it's all those things, right?
Yeah.
It's the history, the process, and the people that make it what it is. I mean, it's really about the people in the community.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's awesome to prop people up and like people that are getting into it and just I don't know, being helpful, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, like gatekeeping's not super chill, but also it's nice to like I don't know. I respect people that like took a harder path and really dedicated themselves to it,
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, it shouldn't just be for a certain select amount of people. Like you should get into it if you really want to. Work really hard for it. So,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It's fun.
I like that, man. I like it. It's awesome that you said that it's like not like a total gatekeeping thing, where as in you're not trying to keep everything private.
No.
You're just trying to be accepting of the people that you see contributing and like really
Yeah,
trying
being a
hard
part
and
of-
stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like be cool with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
be
man.
cool with everybody.
That's awesome, man.
Best you can.
Yeah. Are you working on a split sheet right now?
No, I just bought a painting off of Max. It's killer. It's an older one.
Yeah.
Finished painting for Brown Brothers. I try to give every shop I guess bought at a painting.
That's
It's
awesome.
not the best of painting, but try.
I love your paintings, man. You got them all over your station here, and I stare at them all the
Okay.
time. Yeah, I know. I dig them. And only for tattooing for 3.5 years, dude. You're nailing it, man.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
it's solid.
Appreciate it.
And like, okay, so let's talk about this for a second. You're the only guy in here that still uses coil machines and like actual rotary machines. and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
That's true.
What do you think about? Have you used the pens yet? Have you
I've
used
never
any of
used
that?
a pen.
No.
No. I don't know. It's not that I'm totally against them. And it is ironic that Steve and the guys give me shit for using coils and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Even my mentors, why make your life harder? But
Yeah.
they're just cool. They're
Yeah.
really cool. And
Yeah.
that's the history about them.
Yep.
And they're magic. You know what I mean? There's something about it. So it's a process thing. It's a ritual thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. For
Setting
sure.
up needle
it up.
bars and all that. It's
Bending the
just-
eye loop and all that stuff in the middle bar. Yeah. I love
Yeah, and it's certain machines run different, and you got to do different. But like the Chris Smith, I bend the front needle, the eyelet, and the actual bar
that. Mhm.
because it's short stroke and it runs so hot. You just
Yeah.
it sprays everywhere
Yeah.
unless you do that.
Yeah.
It's just funny how it works. It's just I don't know.
Well, you can always zero in on some problems that it might have too. Like you can take it apart, you can put it back together and stuff like that pretty easily. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that I loved about it, being hands-on with it.
It's cool, yeah. Changing springs and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's like the same feeling of working on a classic car.
Yes.
Now I've got a question for you.
What's that?
So knowing that you still use coils, are you doing anything to help mitigate the chances of carpal tunnel later on or anything like that? Because I know that was a very big reason why a lot of artists switched from coil machines over to something more rotary based. So is there anything specific you're doing to help
Yeah,
with your longevity?
there are hand stretches that I learned early on, and different ways of putting your hand up against the wall or putting your hand together like this and pressing. I do it pretty much every day. I don't know how much it's mitigating. I don't know the medical, whether it helps or not, but that's just what I was taught when I started. Yeah, you're right. Coil machines are heavy. They sit on the back of your hand, and it, over time. The first shop I worked at, Kay Davis, I mean, her hands are permanent like this. She's been tattooing since '78. She can't fully open her fingers anymore. Yeah, I mean, there's some damage that happens there. But I know I guess it's a risk. I'm not really sure. I just love them.
I will say the same thing that was one of my reasons for switching over to the pen style machines too. I mean, I heard about that they're lighter weight and stuff like that. And come to find out for me that there's a lot less work as far as the application part of it goes too. Mm-hmm. Because I will say that there was a point in time, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, where I'd be hanging out, I'd have a drink in my hand or something like that, and all of a sudden it would just slip out of my hand. And I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't drop it, I'm not drunk, I promise you, you know what I mean? But it's just like gone, But but so that's something that you got to take into consideration for sure. For sure. The stretches, the exercises and stuff like that. I've learned a lot of processes where you can massage your muscles and stuff like that into the forms and everything. That helps out quite a bit as well. But I mean, after about 3.5 years, I don't think that you should be seeing any issues with it at all, really. So I know that was my thing. It was probably around year 15, 16, where I was like, yeah, something's starting to get kind of funky here, you know what I mean? But yeah. But I mean, the machines that you're using are much better manufactured and are built now, you know what I mean? Not manufactured, because you're still buying one-offs from other people and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, machines built by tattooers generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll use a pen. I don't know, just to try it out. I'm not opposed to it. I just, I learned on coils. I like coils. I like the feel.
Yeah, they rule, dude. They're magic. I love hearing it. That's for sure, man. You know what I mean? I love hearing the bog down too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oof, there it is. That's that magic sound.
For sure. Catch the line and pull.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. Well, cool. Thanks for jumping in with us, man. That was fucking fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it. Hey, good meeting you all. Have a good one.
Likewise. Take care.
So that's my buddy Terrence. It's one of the coworkers that I have here. It's good to meet him. Glad he jumped in. Let's see here. We got some chats going on. Chats. I don't miss tuning coils.
No.
Yeah, you don't miss them at all, huh, Medusa?
No, I don't miss the wrist ache. I don't miss the weight distribution. I don't miss tuning them. And I don't miss the sound.
You don't like the sound?
No, I do like the sound a little bit, but luckily my boss is the only one in our shop left that uses coils, and her station's right next to mine. So I hear it all day, every day still.
I miss the ritual of coils.
I go home at night and I hear it.
I'm going to share that tattoo real quick, Medusa.
Oh yeah, the one that inspired my thing. Yeah, I got to tattoo right underneath that, and it was
wow,
really intimidating.
That's
that work
bright.
is so gorgeous. It's with some woman who's only been tattooing for 10 years, I think, in New York. And tattooing right next to that was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. So, okay, let's talk about for a second. Let me ask you a question. Seeing that on the screen, it's super, super bright, super rich. It's very vibrant and everything like that. You know what I mean? It looks very saturated. What was the comparison of seeing it on the screen as in person?
It is so similar. Like
Really?
the whites and the orange are just as vibrant, and it was I believe 3 weeks healed, so it wasn't that long after the thing, but still, like, the basic layer of the skin and everything, the top layer and everything had finished peeling and everything, so it was a fresh heal. Maybe a month at the most, but it was still pretty vibrant when I saw it. It was just a gorgeous piece. I spent a lot of time staring at it, and yeah, my coworkers definitely made some jokes at my expense about having a tattoo right next to it. Being
Oh,
like,
kudos.
no, this 2-year-old tattooer tattooing right next to this gorgeous masterpiece.
Well, that's a compliment in a couple different ways, though, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
you had the opportunity. She liked your work that much, and you as a person and an artist to do it for her. So that's
yeah,
rad.
and the client was an absolute delight. The client just loves complimenting artists in general and letting them do whatever they want to. I guess when they went to this woman, they were just like, I just like your art, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And they got an orange out of it, and it was cool. And they pretty much did the same thing to me. They're like, I like your stuff, do whatever you want. So
Nice.
I gave her a little moth.
Thank you. That's
That's
radical,
also
man.
a dream client. I like your stuff.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. And it's like, yay.
It is, isn't it?
More clients like that, please.
That's usually when I bust out like a lot of the sketches or drawings that I have, and I'm like, pick from some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna let me do whatever I want to, because sometimes I feel like if I'm on the spot like that, I'm just like, okay, where am I gonna go with this? You know, and like, what do I want to do? So a lot of times I'll have drawings and stuff like that ready to go. And then a lot of times, most of the time, whenever somebody tells me, let's do whatever you want, and I say, okay, well, let's talk about some ideas that you might have and let's work off of that. You know, I have to have some kind of bearing at least in order to get to the destination, you know?
Yeah,
about
do
you
whatever
guys?
you want. Such a loaded statement. I always,
Yeah.
you know, you try to educate people and let them know that it's like, listen, if you want me to do whatever I want, you're probably not going to be happy with it
Yeah.
unless you have some kind of input into this decision.
Gonna get a lot
Right.
of secret dicks.
Well, I mean, not even that. I mean, they might just be getting something that's way bigger than they wanted. You know,
There
like,
was-
cool, here's a whole upper torso piece I've drawn out.
Ladies,
Let's
man,
do
good
this.
thing.
It's going to be a 4-year commitment, and I'm going to expect you in
Safe
here
travel,
once a
brother.
month for a 6-hour session.
Woo,
You said I could do what I wanted.
Yeah.
True. Whenever anybody is just like, do what you want, like, what do you want to do? My first question is, what is your budget? And like, what are you wanting to commit to this? Like, do you want just a today session, or do you want to like go bold, go big? And yeah, usually you can narrow it down from there. The first question asking what their budget is kind of sums up what your capabilities can be, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Because people do have budgets. I mean, we're working with an economy.
Yeah, man. But you know, the cool part for me, I like to, if somebody's going to let me do whatever I want to do, a lot of the times I'll just hook them up on the price. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even really going to charge them that much to begin with anyway. You know what I mean? And it's really been an awesome thing to see people come in, and whenever they're just like, dude, I just dig your art. You know what I mean? I like these things out of your Instagram. Like, can we do something kind of along these lines? Like, as far as the style of it and stuff like that. I'm like, their look of surprise on their face. And I'm like, yeah, dude, let's totally do this. I'm gonna hook it up, but I want to make it bigger. And they're like, well, how much is it gonna cost? I'm like, I'm just gonna do it for the regular price, dude, because I just really want to do it. And their face, they're like, oh, really cool. And it opens up this whole door for them, I think. You know what I mean? Where they're like, you can do that? Like, people that want to tattoo you, you know what I mean? You want to get tattooed by these dudes because you dig their stuff, and then they really want to do something, they're gonna hook you up on price. Like, yeah, most likely, dude. I mean, I know that's the way I am, and I know that's what a lot of the guys that I work with here are the same way. Even the apprentice, you know what I mean? She has a sheet of flash and stuff like that, but there's some stuff that she has that she really wants to do. And when she gets that, she hooks them up. You know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah, I think showing customers gratitude is a key element in good business strategies, because they
Yep.
come back. Like, and then you end up tattooing their kids years down the line. And all because, you showed them some appreciation in some form or another. But yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a bedside manner that kind of comes along with what we do, you know. and we're dealing with another person. We're dealing with like this other person's perspective and everything like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times the people that we tattoo, they're coming into a shop for the, third time of their life or like fourth time of their life. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people come in and they've been around other studios and other artists and they know how things work. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of get them into it. Like we're so accustomed and we're so desensitized by the environment that we don't even think twice about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's why I always tell people, like, go to places that you're not comfortable going and see how you feel. And remember that whenever a client comes in, you know what I mean? They're going to feel the same kind of experiences that you just did going into like, a high-end party or like some kind of like, nice store where they're like, we're looking at you like you're crazy or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is, dude, just go to those places that make you uncomfortable and see what that's like for a few different reasons,
Yeah, that
Go to a
reminds.
luxury car dealership and look around.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
there you go.
That'll educate you real quick.
I have
There
a
you go.
panic attack thinking about it.
Yeah, walking
I'm
around
like,
cars
no.
that are worth more than my life. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're going to be put in a very uncomfortable position very quickly.
like
Like-
my poverty is screaming right now. I don't want to think about that.
Like the paint job on that car is worth more than every single thing I have. put together.
Yeah,
Oh.
totally.
It's humbling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
pretty
had
wild.
I had a client recently come in for their first tattoo, and I think that they were very nervous. Their etiquette was not on point, and I think a lot of it was simply because they just didn't know better. And some of my coworkers were pretty upset with them. And my goal is to, when they come in for their follow-up appointment, to pull them aside and have a very, very kind and thoughtful talk with them about some things, to the point where I can make them feel not bad, but just kind of teach them a couple of things about proper etiquette in a tattoo shop, and also let them know, like, I remember being 18 years old and going into a tattoo shop for the first time and not knowing what to do, what to say, how to act, and how to behave, and come from a understanding point of view, because I think it's really easy for tattooists to, it's every day for us, but it's not for our clients. So it's easy to get irritated when someone simply just doesn't know better or doesn't understand how tattoo shops work and the etiquette in the shop.
Yep. Especially if they ask you the same question that you've been asked, 10 different times already in the day before, that same day or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's,
Yeah, I
you just
swear to
gotta
God.
remember. Yeah. You just
My-
gotta remember though. You gotta be like, oh yeah, okay, I get it.
Our receptionist is so good at answering the phone and being kind to every single person. Nobody else in the shop is allowed to answer the phone, because if we get a call, it's like, how much does a tattoo cost? We're really upset, but she's so good at answering that question.
I usually answer with, how long is a piece of string?
I always ask, how much is a bag of groceries?
That's a good one. Yeah.
See, I feel like if I was like freshly 18 and I had never been to a tattoo shop before and I didn't know anything, and I called and I was like, super timid, super scared. Hey, how much does a tattoo cost? And somebody said, how much is a bag of groceries? I would be all like, I'm really sorry. Like, sorry to bother you. And I would probably be a little scared and feel bad.
But at the same time, if someone were to tell you, well, that's not really how it works, but we work around budget, like if you kind of just
Yeah.
pivot.
So our receptionist will respond with something like, well, that depends on what you're looking to get. Like, do you have a size in mind and a placement? We have shop minimums and blah, blah, blah. And she goes into it full detail. And usually she just ends up like, you'll hear her having these conversations like, oh, that's so funny, blah, blah, blah. And she's like making friends with the clients on the phone. And all of us are just like, I would have hung up by now, blah, blah, blah.
That's funny.
Yeah, we get a lot of people coming in that like see her and it's like, you're the person I talked to on the phone. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I swear, a good front desk person is the secret backbone of the shop.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you completely. Oh man.
See, I worked in a studio for so long that didn't have a front desk person, where it was all up to the individual artists. And it was a big open floor plan, and everyone had line of sight to the front door. So anytime someone came in, it was like, oh, okay, let's meet and greet, because that's what we do. Um, and if the phone rang, it was one of the artists that had to stop tattooing, take off their gloves, go through, answer the phone, answer the questions, then put their gloves back on and continue tattooing.
Yep.
That I just got so used to working that customer service end as well. And I was joking around, by the way, when I said how much is a bag of groceries. Like,
Oh, I
Oh
know.
yeah.
there's obviously a very customer service friendly way to go about, addressing those questions. And I think you hit the nail on the head there, where it's a lot of it comes down to, okay, well, what is your budget? What are you looking to spend? What are you looking to get done? What are your ideas? We're here to facilitate what you have in your mind, not just say, oh, cool, another person I can put whatever I want to on. It's like, people are more than that. They're more than just, a blank, empty piece of skin that we can tattoo. What's your input? I want to make you happy. That is my job.
Yeah. A lot of it comes down to communication. You know what I mean? Understanding what they're saying, being able to transcribe the words and the way that they say it. Because a lot of times, I mean, like I've said it before, dude, the reason people bring stuff off of Pinterest or off of the internet of tattoos that they've seen, some of them want it exactly as is, and that's a no-no for me. The only other reason that I've seen that people bring it in is because they don't have no idea on how to explain the image that they have in their head. So it's up to us a lot of times to be able to sit down with them and hear them out, and then kind of go from there and like try to communicate with them as well as you can. So a lot of it has to do with communication skills for sure. You know what I mean? And that goes hand in hand with everything that we do on a daily basis, really. Even ourselves, especially ourselves. Jesus.
Oof.
Don't even
That's
go
why I
there.
talk to myself all the time.
Oh, dude, man, all the time. Yeah.
I get animals so that I can talk to them and not feel weird talking to myself all the time.
Except for when they look at you like this.
Yeah, when they start to give you those weird looks, you're like,
What?
So like, man, I was talking to you so that I wouldn't seem crazy talking to myself. Now I'm crazy talking to you. The
Here,
betrayal.
let me put this leash on you so we can take you for a walk now.
They're like, don't look at me like that. You pooped on
Yeah.
the sidewalk.
Yeah, exactly. Who owns who here, buddy? Yeah, man, it's been pretty slow week for me. I've been working on some tattoo ideas. I have recently bought a sketchbook that I'm going to start filling up. I'm trying to get it to where I can do at least one drawing a day in it. I'm trying to put together a book of sketches and stuff like that I can put out there. If anybody's interested can pick it up. Hopefully that'll be done in the next month and a half or so.
Ricardo, as
yes.
an idea,
Yeah.
and this is something I was throwing around on the Launchpad tattoo community. Don't know if you've heard about it or not, but
yeah,
a great little place to go through and pitch around ideas for side hustles and stuff like that. If you ever wanted to digitize it and sell it as an ebook, which means you don't have any overhead, you don't have any, unsold inventory or anything of that nature. It's a digital download. You can set it up through any number of different ways, whether it's through a big cartel page or Shopify or whatever. But you could sell a digitally locked EPUB format ebook or a PDF version of that sketchbook so that people could download it straight to their iPad and read it that way. If you were looking to sell an actual physical copy, it's going to cost you more in the long run.
Yeah.
But it is always nice to have that physical copy on hand.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
that's a good
just a
idea.
thought.
Yeah, I didn't even think about doing the digital book. My concern is somebody like always just kind of scamming it or something like that. You know what I mean? Plus, I mean, if they scammed it, dude, and they have art and they're using it, then that's fine by me. I mean, I'm not saying do it by any means, but if you're using it, then go for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll look into that for sure, and I might pick your brain about that a little bit more, because I know that like what I'd like to do is have like the actual just feel of the book in my hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And I don't think I'll make it very big either. I'll probably just make it, as far as the size, overall size of it.
Small little flip book.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's something fun. Put something fun on the front page, on the front cover.
Have you ever heard of
Ricardo's renderings?
I think it's called The Good Book. And it's just like a whole bunch of super, super tiny little thumbnails
Yep, I've seen that.
of
That's
different
pretty awesome.
designs.
We
And
have
it's
that in
like-
my work. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's an
super
amazing
resourceful.
book.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could even do something like that where all of the designs are, literally thumbnail size.
Yeah, there's
and
an artist. Go ahead.
I was going to say you can pack so many more in there, and then you don't necessarily really have to worry about people ripping them off, because someone wants to take a line drawing and do it that small. Go for it. That's going to be a reflection on them, but I mean, it kind of eliminates that whole thing, right? Unless they take it and they scan it or they blow it up or whatever. But it's I really like the way that the Good Book did that. Is they made everything so small. It's not like you can just photocopy it and stencil it,
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through and take the time to actually like blow it up, figure out size and all that stuff. And then you would have to go back through and redraw all the lines, because the designs are so tiny, all those lines are going to blur together if you try to run it straight as a stencil.
Right. Yeah. We just got a Creatures Cave said he uses Kindle through Amazon. He says he's published. That's cool, man. Why don't you drop a line and tell us what the name of your book is? We can talk about it up here. I like that book that we're talking about, especially because it's the true meaning, the true definition of like a resource or a reference book. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times people take sketches out of line drawing books and they'll just copy and paste them and stuff. And that's cool if that's your thing. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to a lot of like the Japanese stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's a very distinct formula to some of that like classic traditional Japanese stuff. You know what I mean? So why not? You know what I mean? It's from the source. You know what I mean? So I get that. But a lot of times it's good to kind of remember that these books are just like inspirations. You know what I mean? And a collection of another artist's work and stuff like that, and to use it as your resource, as a backbone of like what we were talking about earlier, with so where to start from with the ideas and like the direction or the bearing, right? So I like that too. And that's another reason that I love that book too, because you can just, I like to skim through those books when I first get them, those line drawing books. I'll look through them, pretty intently a couple times and stuff like that and put it away. And then later on, I'll just kind of like literally open the book up and kind of flip through it from the back and just let the pages fall a little bit and then put it away and then sit down and draw. You know what I mean? I really love doing that. I feel like it just keeps the mind just kind of like, the wheel kind of turning a little bit, so you're not stuck. But to each their own though, you know what I mean? And no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If that's your thing, you want a reference book so you can tattoo those images as is, and go for it. But yeah. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna sign off a little early today. I got a couple drawings I gotta do. I'm gonna be using this today as a reference. I printed this off of Google Images. So I'm gonna use this as a reference today for one of my first drawings in my sketchbook. I also have this new sketchbook here. It's like a sideways kind of guy. I'm really digging it. It's my first sideways dude. But if you can see up here at the top, I put some goals for myself and I haven't started yet, so I'm already a few days behind. But this is my reminder every time I open this book up that this is what I haven't been doing. And I'm not putting it on there to beat myself up. I'm just putting it up there as my reminder. Maybe it's something that you guys can kind of start doing too, and I don't know, see what we can do together. If not anything. But I wanted to give a shout out to Terry. That was pretty cool that he came in and jumped on real quick. If you guys get a chance, check them out on Terry Lessard Tattoos at Instagram. That's TERRYLESSARD Tattoos at Instagram. Give him a follow. He's a really good dude, man. I like him. Everybody that I work with here is pretty cool, but he's really easy to talk to, guy. Does everybody want to give a shout out before we head out? Medusa, I'll start with you.
Hi. I'm Medusa. I'm on Instagram as Medusa Slays with 3 S's at the end. Rock on.
Cool. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's really early for you, so I appreciate you being on here. Thank you. Oh, Jason.
So I'm Jason Leeser. I host the Sunday afternoon drawing groups over at Reinventing the Tattoo. Ricardo, as always, thank you for having me on today. If you're trying to get a hold of me, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Philly Inc. PHILLYINK, all one word, no underscores or anything like that. If you live in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, you can always reach me at the studio I work at, which is the Inkwell Tattoo in Southampton, Pennsylvania. Hit me up, let me know, let's get you in.
Oh, man, thank you. And if you guys get a chance, make sure and check Jason out on Sundays at 12 Eastern.
1
o'clock Eastern. Yeah. Really informative stuff. Jason's always working on some kind of project on there. It's always cool to catch that. It was also the first time that I jumped onto the Reinventing the Tattoo Zooms, and it has been a life changer. And I can't thank him enough for it. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Lauren, thank you very much for all your technical savvy. I wouldn't be here without you. I say it all the time, man, but I'm pretty sure I'd be like clicking buttons and like scratching my head. What am I doing?
Be sitting there with
Good
a
to see you,
stick.
Ricardo.
What's that?
It's always good to see you. I looked at my phone and I was really surprised we hadn't talked since last week. It seems like we did.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're good. But it's like we never skipped a beat though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Killer. Well, everybody in the chats, Creatures Cave, thank you very much for all your input. Why don't you drop a line in the chats there and let us know where we can find your book. Kyle Olson, thank you for jumping in. James Wisdom, you know, your shows are awesome, man. I agree with Lauren. They're very fun to watch, very informative, and keep them coming. But thank you guys, everybody.